Hi, Coach. Just a couple of questions for you. I guess first off, kind of through the unofficial first half of the season here with this big long break, how would you assess the team through 16 games?
Right. Well, we didn't know what to expect, really. Everything is so new. So many new players. Um, we didn't know the schedule until the last minute, the length of the road trips. We didn't even know if we would be playing at the MTS downtown or here at the Iceplex. So lots of unknown. So if you take that as the number one challenge, I think we adjusted extremely well. The people that were in charge of revamping the Iceplex did an amazing job for us to play in our own practice building. And the team, like we had a different camp. We started with 12 players, and then players were added to the group as the time went on. And but from day one, guys have been working extremely hard, and they've been coachable, and they're easy to communicate with, and they're trying their best. First two games were a little bit harder, building that chemistry. We had no exhibition games and no veterans really, or not many veterans. We started the season with one from our team, Jimmy Oligny, and two from another team, Grayovac and Sotner. And then from there, we just took off, and the team keeps improving. We didn't know what to expect really from Perfetti, because that's a pretty big jump from major junior to the pro levels. So he's been improving. We had a question mark about our D-man. We knew there was some skills there, but very young. No, evaluating how it would go was pretty much unknown, and we didn't know about the other teams as well. Usually you have a pretty good indication on the other teams. The taxi squad makes a difference for the teams in general, so lots of unknown, and that's just the one that I share with you right now, but there's more to that. So it's been so far it's been really good. The guys are working hard, they're improving. We play a real good hard gap up game. We're driving the net. We're trying something a little bit different on a penalty kill, way more aggressive. So we had some real good blocks of games where we were really good, and some others, mainly not because of the routes, but because of the clears. So that's something you can fix quite easily. The power play is in the top 5, top 6. And we're winning games against pretty solid teams and teams that are a little bit older than we are in general. But it's not about the age. The talent level is there, and the energy is there. Good team players, good people. We're getting to know them, and good surprises. Like nobody would have said that Nathan Thod would have been in the top in the league as far as getting points. So there's a few things like that are good surprises, and we enjoy very much working with them.
And last one for me, you've got this big, long, what was 12 days down to 10 now, run of no games. How do you take advantage of this time, and how do you break out your practice schedule to make the most of it?
So we broke it down in 2 blocks. So what we did is this week there's going to be 2 blocks, 2 practices a day, one with the forwards and 2 goalies, the other one with the D and 2 goalies, and we're going to be working on skills and solely on skills. And 45 to an hour on the ice on skills, and we're going to push them hard in the gym. So that's the first 2 days. And then the third day is going to be more competing, more demanding and more intense on the ice, and slow down in the gym. Still going to do a few things in the gym. And then we're going to have a day off because it's going to be 3 days of intensity, 2 days in the gym and 1 day on the ice, really intense. Then we're going to go a day off. And then the second block we're going to be running routes. And now it's going to be up and down the ice and running our systems and refreshing their memories. So that's how we're going to prepare. We divided in two blocks. The first block is getting back in the gym and skills on the ice, and the second block will be running routes and intensity on the ice, and then execution.
We'll go next to Jeff Hamilton. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Pascal. Hope all's well. Glad you got those voice pipes warmed up now. Kind of development, right? Development is such an important piece of hockey, and in particular under the Manitoba Moves mandate. And I also know it's a broad term. So in development for one player does not equate necessarily the development of another. But I'm sure there are certain areas when it comes to development, broader terms, that you're looking out for everybody. And I'm curious what you try to identify, or what are those kind of moments that you determine, okay, this guy, you can say for anybody, this guy is following his development curve.
Yeah. So there's you're right, absolutely right. It's so different from one player to the other, and even if you had two similar players, the development curve would be different. So there's three parts to development that we focus on. The first one is the brain. How do you adapt? How do you understand the culture of the team and how we want to play every night? How you make your reads on the ice? How you understand the systems and how fast you can apply the systems, how you play the game depending on the score, on the clock. If we're up by 1, up by 5, or down by 1, down by 5, how is your brain reacting and how can we help get better there? That's the first one. The second one would be the compete level. So we evaluate and develop the compete level and manage what they can do on the ice and how fast they can do it. So once you understand the routes and everything that concerns the read, so the brain part of it, the compete level would be number 2 right behind it, or attached to number 1. And it would be all about how hard do you work your stick, your skating, your execution as far as the one-on-one battles and the tracking and the D zone, getting in the lanes and getting pucks back, and everything that is related to hard work. That would be the second one. So all players are different and they come in at a different level in all 3 categories. And the last category would be the skills, like the agility, the passing skills, the shooting skills. But it's number 3. The first one is we want to evaluate the player's brain and where they're at and how quick they can adapt. And then how much intensity is attached to that. You can be a very smart player, but if you're a lazy player, it brings you nowhere. You can be not very quick at understanding the routes and the system and the culture or the reads, but you work extremely hard. So it's going to be a different approach. And 1 or 2 being really good or not, or having to be developed depending on your skill level. So the plan is really different for every single player. So our job is to evaluate the 3 categories as quick as we can so we can make a plan that is fit for the right player and we can adjust along the way.